A young mother had just given birth. Family members were celebrating the arrival of a newborn baby, but minutes later, gunshots echoed inside the hospital. When police arrived, they discovered a horrifying scene. A 24-year-old mother was dead, and the man responsible was her own husband. This tragedy unfolded inside the Women's Center of Brookwood Hospital in Homewood, Alabama. The victim was Precious Johnson, a 24-year-old new mother. The suspect was her husband, 19-year-old Kynath William Terry Jr. According to police, he shot his wife shortly after she gave birth, then turned the gun on himself. But what led to such a shocking act inside a hospital on the very day their child was born? Childbirth is supposed to be one of the happiest days in a family's life. Doctors, nurses, and loved ones gather to welcome a new baby into the world, and that's exactly what was happening that day. Precious Johnson had just delivered her baby. The hospital room was supposed to be filled with joy. Instead, it became a crime scene. As relatives waited in the hallway, time felt suspended. Monitors hummed, clouds drifted beyond the window, and the room held its breath. Moments earlier, there had been laughter and relief. Now, unease crept in. No one imagined danger could cross that threshold, especially not from someone meant to protect her. Investigators say the shooting happened shortly after Johnson gave birth. Her husband was inside the hospital with her. At some point, something changed. Police believe Terry pulled out a gun and fired multiple shots at his wife. Inside a hospital room, surrounded by new mothers and newborn babies. The sound of gunfire quickly triggered panic inside the building. Panic spread in seconds. Nurses radioed for security, doors slammed, and visitors were ushered away. Alarms and hurried footsteps echoed through the stairwell as staff tried to reach the floor. Officers rushed to the Women's Center of Brookwood Hospital after receiving reports of an active shooting. Inside the room, they found two people suffering from gunshot wounds: Precious Johnson and her husband. Both were pronounced dead. Police quickly determined the incident was a murder-suicide. Outside, flashing lights painted the walls while officers secured every entrance. Word of a shooting rippled through the night as families waited for answers. Precious Johnson was just 24 years old. She had just experienced one of the most life-changing moments a person can have: becoming a mother. Friends and family describe her as someone who was excited about starting a new chapter of life. But that future was taken away in a matter of seconds. Friends described Precious as bright, gentle, and hopeful. She had plans for her child, for school, for a simple, happy home. Those dreams, fragile as a candle flame, were suddenly gone. In the days that followed, hallways felt unnaturally quiet. Flyers for new parent classes still hung on corkboards as staff replayed the night step by step, searching for anything they missed. The suspect, Kynath William Terry Jr., was only 19 years old. According to reports, the couple had been experiencing marital issues. Terry's own mother later told reporters she knew the couple had relationship problems, but she said she never believed her son was capable of violence. Neighbors remembered seeing the couple together, sometimes smiling, sometimes tense. Arguments had been whispered about, but nothing prepared anyone for this. On a still street, grief settled like fog over the block. Investigators began assembling a timeline: the birth, the visitors, the brief quiet period, and the shots. They interviewed staff and family, combing through messages and security logs to understand motive. Hospitals are designed to be places of safety, where people go for healing, where families celebrate life. But on this night, the Women's Center became the scene of a devastating tragedy. Doctors, nurses, and patients were left shocked by what happened. Corridors, once filled with congratulations, were hushed. Staff checked on new mothers, offering reassurance while counseling teams arrived to comfort families shaken by the violence. Administrators coordinated with police and increased security for the night. Outside, the hospital's windows glowed while the community waited for official updates. The community of Homewood, Alabama was left stunned. Local leaders and healthcare officials expressed their heartbreak over the incident. The president of the Alabama Hospital Association said hospitals should be places where people feel safe. But incidents like this remind us that violence can occur anywhere. Vigils formed across town. Faith leaders, neighbors, and healthcare workers gathered to honor Precious and to support the baby left behind. Candles flickered as people asked how this could happen here. Local businesses posted messages of sympathy and set donation jars near registers. Conversations turned to safety, mental health, and the need to notice early signs of abuse. Perhaps the most heartbreaking part of this story is the newborn child. A baby who entered the world only moments before tragedy struck, now left without either parent. Family members are now faced with the difficult task of raising the child while coping with unimaginable grief. Relatives prepared to welcome the newborn home, arranging diapers, bottles, and a safe place to sleep. Amid the soft glow of nightlights, they promised to surround the child with love and protection. Experts say domestic violence often escalates during major life events: pregnancy, financial stress, relationship struggles. Many cases happen behind closed doors, and sometimes the warning signs are missed until it's too late. The story of Precious Johnson is heartbreaking, a young mother who should have been celebrating the birth of her child. Instead, her life ended in a hospital room. As the community continues to mourn, one question remains: how could a moment of life turn into a moment of tragedy?